Greninja EX is the spiritual return of a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX with a decent attack to the active and a very cool snipe attack that can hit the active or the bench. And on paper, this seems like it could be really good. We have seen Rapid Strike Urshifu do amazing things in the past, and this in certain ways is even better than Urshifu. But can Greninja hang in the current Pokemon TCG meta? I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about this take on Greninja EX. And this one's with Pidgeot. I know that there is a build with Frostlass, and I do have plans of covering that. We might see it later this week. You might see it down the road. This is my build with Greninja and Pidgeot. And let's go talk about Greninja EX. It's a stage 2 Pokemon with 310 HP, fighting type, and we don't have any real good fighting decks right now, so I think by default this is kind of it. And it is a Tera Pokemon, so it's going to be using a different energy other than fighting. It's water, and you can't snipe it on the bench, which is nice. It does have the attack Shinobi Blade for 1 water energy. You actually do 170 damage, and you can grab a card of your choice from the deck and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. 170 damage it's okay. You're going to be able to knock out stuff like Lumineon and Squawkabilly, or you're two-shotting pretty much everything in the game. And you are also getting a card of your choice, so helping out with your consistency. Now, getting a stage 2 Greninja setup can be inherently inconsistent, but once you get the Greninja set up and you start swinging, the added benefit of grabbing the extra card is great. And then it's Barrage attack for 1 water and 2 colorless energy. You get to discard 2 energy from this Pokemon and do 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So if you have 120, so one of those can be the active, one can be the bench. You can snipe 2 to the bench, take out 2 smaller Pokemon, potentially finish off 2 big EXs or something like that for 4 prizes. Lots of different ways of mapping out your prizes to take multiple prizes with this attack. Now, keep in mind, if you're powering this up with double turbo energy, you're only going to do 100 to both. I think there's a glitch. There was, maybe still is a glitch in Pokemon TCG Live, where even if you're attacking with the double turbo energy, you're doing 120 damage. If you want to exploit don't be jerks. Don't exploit the glitch. But yeah, you should be doing 100 instead of 120. So let's go and dig into the list here. We have a 4-1-3 line of we've got the Froakie, 1 Frogadier, and this can help us against Devolution plays. So you've got a little bit of protection. If you get devolved, you've got the Frogadier still up, which is nice. And then 3 copies of Greninja EX. And then we also have Pidgeot here. And I love Pidgeot for that quick search ability. Grab a card of your choice from the deck and then put it into your hand. So the combination of Greninja being able to grab a card plus Pidgeot being able to grab a card can really help out with your consistency if you can get the engine set up early. We also have 1 Rotom V. You'll put this on turn 1, on your bench turn 1, draw 3 cards, and then that's probably it. We also have Lumineon here, where we can play this to grab a supporter of our choice, put it into our hand, shuffle our deck. Also gives us an opportunity, a Forest Seal Stone target on top of Rotom to help grab another card. And then our Desperation attacker in the deck is Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, where its Season Skill ability lets you reduce the cost of this crazy attack for each prize card your opponent has taken. And so, yeah, 5 energy for 240, can't attack on the following turn. Sounds horrible, but towards the mid to late game, like if your opponent's taken 5 prizes, this is attacking for free for just 240. They can't attack on the next turn, but ideally this is the attack that wins you the game. And if they've taken like 2-3 prizes, if they've taken 3 prizes, you can power this up with a double turbo energy. That's 220 damage, potentially enough to win the game against like a big basic. So yeah, this is a really nice card in this deck. For trainer cards, we've got 1 copy of Counter Catcher, can gust up a benched Pokemon into the active if you're behind on prizes. 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer, where you get to discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. I think in particular, you want to knock off legacy energy off of your Lugia targets so that you're still taking the appropriate number of prizes. This could potentially help you out in other ways, slow down your opponent, maybe knock off mist energy or what have you. But I think legacy energy in particular is the big target, especially as Lugia becomes more popular. 1 copy of Unfair Stamp, where after a knockout, you can both players shuffle their hands into their deck. You draw 5, they draw 2. Great way of potentially stalling for time while also refreshing your hand. Another A-spec you could play here, potentially Prime Catcher. Scoop Up Cyclone doesn't seem so bad either because it's not that hard to get another Greninja rolling while you take a damaged one off the board. So some things to consider there. Unfair Stamp. 2 copies of Nest Ball to get our basics down. 1 copy of Forest Seal Stone. We'll use this as our V-Star power. Grab a card of our choice and put it into our hand. 1 copy of Irida will get us a water Pokemon plus an item card, and this is great for potentially helping us set up grabbing our Froakies, Frogadiers, our Lumineon, and so on, and an item card as well. But we're mostly relying on Arven here for that item, plus a tool card can get us our Forest Seal Stone and all of that stuff and more. So we got 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards, grab a Pokemon of our choice. We've got Pal Pad here, where we get to put 2 supporter cards from our discard pile, put them back into our deck. 1 copy of Lost City, which I love in this deck. Whenever Pokemon gets knocked out, you send them to the Lost Zone instead of the discard pile. In particular, against Evolution decks, you can really disrupt them with Lost City, throwing their basics into the Lost Zone so they can't set up. 2 copies of Boss's Orders to gust a bench Pokemon into the active. 1 copy of Professor Turo Scenario, which can help you pick up a Pokemon off the board, and then yeah, it's just gone. So you can either use this to get stuff like your Lumineon or Rotom out of play, or you can use this to grab a damaged Greninja off the board and then set up a new Greninja, and then with 1 energy you're still attacking for 170 and grabbing another card, which is nice. TM Devo is a cool option that this deck can really take advantage of, because after a Mirage Barrage you could then play TM Devo and devolve your opponents down to their basics and knock both of those Pokemon out of play. Really cool play if you can make it work. It's 1 copy of Super Rod to get 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy from our discard pile back into our deck. 1 copy of Lost Vacuum to send any sort of pesky stadiums or tools into the Lost Zone. I think in particular, damage modifiers like a maximum belt or HP modifiers can be really annoying because you're not doing that much damage. Lost Vacuum can get those out of the way. Collapsed Stadium helps us out in getting Lumineon and Rotom off of the board when we don't need them anymore. Eri is a nice bit of control to help slow your opponent down a little more. You play this, you get to look at your opponent's hand and get rid of 2 item cards you find there. Buddy-Buddy Poffin is great for getting our basic Pokemon with up to 70 HP on the board. We can put 2 of them at a time with this card. 3 copies of Iono for hand disruption. Both players shuffle their hands, put it to the bottom of the deck, and then draw equal to the number of prize cards remaining. So if you are behind on prizes in particular, this is a great way of getting more resources while giving your opponent less. An important card in this deck, Canceling Cologne, lets you negate the active Pokemon's abilities. And in particular, like Manaphy is so popular in the format right now that it's going to really hurt your snipe potential. So being able to gust up a Manaphy and then play Canceling Cologne to then hit the appropriate targets is fantastic. 4 copies of Rare Candy to get our Stage 2 Pokemon in play without having to evolve to Stage 1. And then 1 copy of Earthen Vessel gives us 2 water energy from our deck. And we have to discard a card in the process, but that's not that big of a deal. I like Earthen Vessel in the deck because that gives us a way of grabbing water energy with Arven or Irida that can both search for items. Then for energy, we've got 6 copies of water energy and 2 double turbo energy. I think 2 double turbo is fine. You're usually not doing more than 2 Mirage Barrages anyway. Most of the time I only get 1 in a match before it's done, so 2 feels just fine. So your basic strategy is you want to get Froakies and Pidgeys on the board. Ideally, you'll get a Rotom down on turn 1 and you can draw 3 cards, though that doesn't necessarily happen all the time. And then turn 2, you are swinging with Greninja, whether it's the Shinobi Blade or the Mirage Barrage, and hopefully drawing the pieces that you need with Pidgeot along the way. And then Bloodmoon Ursaluna can come in as an end game attacker. All right, let's check out these matches. Oh, this is a pretty good start, all things considered. Lost Box. Okay. You know what? Yeah, that kind of sucks because if they hit with... Ooh, I don't want double Pidgeot. If I lose the Pidgey, though, then we're kind of screwed, right? Okay, we'll get the Rotom down. And... I think we can leave a bench spot open for the time being. I kind of want to attach energy, but if I attach right now, then I can't snipe. Then I can't snipe on the following turn. But if I attach and then I lose it, I'm screwed. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. We'll try and get that play later. All right, we get a Greninja set up, whether it's the one in the active or one on the bench. Does kind of suck. Double Pidgey does feel bad. If we... Is there a world where I can get a Pidgeot and Greninja rolling here at the same time? It's the Dragapult version of Lost Box. No! We had a really good starting hand there. And now we get Pidgeot rolling. Or we get Greninja rolling. What's the play here? We can guarantee Greninja gets going. But I'm not sure we want that per se. Or we could roll the dice, right? I could roll the dice and say we get Pidgeot for sure. Pidgeot gets us. Oh, okay, there we go. Pidgeot gets. Yeah, now we have it. Now we have it. Pidgeot gets going. With Pidgeot's quick search, we grab Greninja. I mean, we could have done something like this. All right, we get the energy. I kind of want to evolve the Froakie, but I don't want to lose the double turbo. They get their Manaphy down. That's annoying, but we can potentially... Let's go in Shinobi Blade, and we'll swing for 170. I have some of the pieces right now. I think I will grab either the Canceling Cologne or the Boss right now. I think we get the Canceling Cologne because we could potentially just get Boss's orders with a Lumineon. So let's go grab that Canceling Cologne now. And we can potentially get a snipe on 2 Dracoloaks. Let's see how they play it, though. So yeah, turn 2, next turn, we want to boss up the Manaphy, Canceling Cologne, and if they don't evolve to Dragapult right now, and it's going to take a lot to get Dragapult plus 2 energy rolling here. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. They're going to get 2 more in the Lost Zone. Okay. They do throw out a Mirage Gate as well. I love that for me. They do get Cram, and if they're just swinging for 110, I'm totally fine with that. I think that's probably their play, right? Ooh, Prime Catcher. Probably the... Oh, okay, they're just going to take out the Froakie. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We can set up another Froakie right now with the Buddy Poffin. We boss up the Manaphy. We take out the 2 Dreepies. And then we should be okay. So let's make sure I sequence this right. Ooh, and we can Lost City them too. Although it does power up their Lost Zone. So there is that. We have the Canceling Cologne. We just need Boss. Let's go Buddy Poffin up. Do we go 2 Froakie? I think we do. That does mean we can't play Lumineon, which does kind of suck. Let's go in Quick Search. We'll go grab a Boss's orders, and let's boss up the Manaphy. So we are going to boss up the Manaphy. We're going to play some Canceling Cologne. And we will also play that Lost City. And we are going to say Mirage Barrage. And we're going to go and snipe out the 2 Dreepies on the bench, sending them to the Lost Zone. They can keep swinging for 110 for all I care. Now, we are powering up their Lost Zone, which is a problem. because now they've got 7 in Lost Go and they can start Mirage gating stuff. They probably have a Radiant Charizard. We probably aren't going to get a snipe like that again. I mean, we could just boss up the Dreepy and send that to the Lost Zone too, right? Let's see what they have. If Manaphy's stuck in the active, that would be hilarious. I don't think we have to work like Counter Catcher. We're definitely not going to be able to do at this point. Interesting. They're going for a Mirage Gate right now. Okay. And then they'll go in with the Cram. Most likely. Oh, okay. Comfey. Sure. But yeah, if we can send that third Dreepy to the Lost Zone, I think we'll be okay. And we do have to start getting pieces for a second Greninja soon, I think. Sableye is annoying. Okay, do we want to send Sableye to the Lost Zone or Dragapult to the Lost Zone? Okay, Counter Catcher is not going to matter. Nest Ball is not going to matter. Let's go and grab ourselves the Frogadier. And let's go. And we could even send Manaphy to the Lost Zone. What's potentially more dangerous? I think the Dragapult is more dangerous. So let's go and find ourselves another Boss's Orders. And let's go bring that Dreepy up. And we will also send that to the Lost Zone. And let's go grab ourselves... What do we grab at this point? Let's go... Yeah, they just get out of here. Jeez. Good win. Good win. Absolutely annihilating that Lost Dragapult deck with... I mean, that pretty much is the best case scenario for Greninja EX, getting the knockout early. They didn't really do much damage in return, at which point we could just, I think, setting ourselves up to Canceling Cologne Manaphy and then blast the two Dreepies, just really cut off a lot of their high damage options in the mid to late game, and then sending the third Dreepy to the Lost Zone pretty much cut off everything else they had. And, you know, they could have probably played Ursaluna at the end or something to make it at least somewhat interesting. But I think, is Ursaluna weak to fighting? It might be weak to fighting. But we put ourselves in a really good spot, showcase kind of the strengths of Greninja EX, being able to, and Pidgeot together, being able to grab multiple cards to help keep your consistency going. And also that snipe attack on the smaller Pokemon as evolution decks become more popular. Charizard's kind of slipping here a bit, but with a lot of evolution decks in the field, Greninja can take advantage of those. And here, this was just kind of a... this was an evolution deck. I know it's Lost Box with that, but yeah, having to evolve the Dragapult, and we just never let them set that up. So we'll take that win. GG's. There's a lot of pressure for me to get the videos, like get enough content on the Sunday. And that's been hard. So I've been trying to... Arceus. Okay, and we hit Arceus for weakness. That's fantastic. Unfortunately, it's Attach Pass. We will one-shot this Arceus on the following turn. Thankfully. Okay. Grass Energy. They get a Bidoof down. No! Oh, no. We had, like, a brilliant hand. And now we have a horrible hand. Oh, no. Yeah, this is... This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I don't even think there's a point in attaching the energy right now. I think we just wait. Yeah, the Frokie's dead. Almost certain the Frokie's dead. I think we'll play it out for one more turn. If we get a rare candy, we could potentially just turn this around. But, wow. That feels real bad. I hope they Iono us. I hope they Iono again. They probably won't, though. Right, one-shotting Arceus is going to make this phenomenal. And I wonder what the grass is for. Like, Virizion? I don't know. But yeah, that Iono absolutely killed us. I hate when that happens. The Iono just means... and especially the beginning Iono, where all of a sudden, like, you just can't play the game anymore. So I hope we get Iono'd into a better hand, or we top deck something here. Because Greninja hitting Arceus for weakness is very relevant in this matchup. Because pretty much any sort of control strategies go out the window. Actually, no, Hero's Cape. We can't one-shot Arceus with a Hero's Cape. But let's see. Okay, they Buddy Poffin and set up Arceus into... I think this is just some weird Arceus control deck. Oh, man. Just top deck Rare Candy. Top deck Rare Candy or Iono. Come on. Nest Ball. Let's see what the grass energy's for. Oh, Giratina. Okay, Arctina. That should be fine. That should be fine. They run Maximum Belt. Okay, this could be a problem. The Giratina could be a problem. Giratina plus Max Belt does one-shot a Greninja. But let's see. If we don't top deck a card worth playing, then we'll just scoop. Are they going to go all in on the Tina? No, they don't. Okay. Please. Please. Saving grace. And I arguably could have put up a Pidgey and then just wait. Oh, Rare Candy. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, okay. Is it worth getting the Pidgeot? I think it's worth getting the Pidgeot. Pidgeot gets us Lumineon. Lumineon gets us Arven. Arven gets us 2 pieces. I think that's the play. Let's see if that actually pans out. If I have done this. So if you're a Charizard player, you probably know this sequence really well. Quick search for Lumineon. Lumineon gets us Arven. Arven also gets us it gets us Rare Candy 4 Seal Stone. That then gets us another piece as well. So I think that's the play. Arven gets us Rare Candy 4 Seal Stone. Rare Candy 4 Seal Stone. And then we can Unfair Stamp them. That's actually... This is a insane sequence of events here. Right? And then we 4 Seal Stone. And yeah, I think... Does Unfair Stamp really matter? Giving them 2 cards when they have the ultimate backup for that doesn't really help us. So... Instead, I think we grab a Frogadier and just get that more set up so that we can potentially get rolling on a following turn. Like I'd rather them, they're gonna shuffle through their hand anyway, so the hand disruption doesn't really matter. Let's go grab another card. What actually helps us here, right? The Greninja, we can snipe. We're only doing 100 though, so. Double Turbo doesn't necessarily help us in this matchup, I don't think. Turo potentially could. Eri could. Or we could just keep it simple and grab Greninja here. What potential... Yeah, let's go grab a Greninja just so we can establish our board a little better. Yeah, the trade-off of okay, let's see. They're going in with the Arceus. That's probably a good sign for us. Yeah, if we had played if we'd played Unfair Stamp, they would have had 2 cards and then they could draw even more. I think ultimately they would have been able to see more of their deck if we had Unfair Stamped them. at that point. So, and then we could also hold off on the Unfair Stamp. Okay, they get the Tina. I think as long as we don't see a maximum belt come down. Okay, Radiant Charizard. That's probably fine. Yeah, Unfair Stamp here is not necessarily a great play for us. We can one-shot the Charizard and then potentially get another piece. I think we still want to one-shot this Arceus. Okay, I mean, Lost Vacuuming away Force Seal Stone does nothing, I don't think, unless they have another Bibarel right now. Yeah, and they can draw 5 more cards, yeah. That's fine. I accept that combo. Do they get their double? I don't think they got the double turbo. Bum, bum, bum. If we could somehow get 3 water energy on this Greninja and then we could snipe out these 2 Bibarels, that would be amazing. They're going to need Max Belt to knock this out. So that is a play. That is possible. They don't have Manaphy. And we could even just snipe out a Bibarel and... Okay, let's see what we can do. We could be overcommitting to the bit. Okay, Magma Basin... That will get some energy on the Charizard. And they might be stuck here. If they're stuck, I think we play to snipe out these 2 targets on the following turn. And even if they max belt us. Okay, let's... Do they have a retreat? If they don't have a retreat, then yeah, we take the 2 plus... Is it worth playing for... Is it realistic to play for the... Okay, let's go get a Froakie down. And right now, they are not... Attaching a second water energy... Or do we get this... Okay. What's the play? If I go in, what are the odds that they get a max belt? Well, if they do get a max belt, that's only 1, right? So, we could play it safe. I could just attach an energy here to Greninja, but I want to get I want to take a 2-prize play on the following turn. I'm going to risk it. So we're going to grab a water energy here. And this could come back to haunt me later. I totally understand that. But I'm playing for it. We're going to Shinobi Blade. And let's go grab... What do we want? What piece do we want here? Do we just get the water energy now? I guess we can. I know that's one of the pieces we want. Okay. Worst case scenario, we can 2-shot a Giratina. They don't have enough cards in the Lost Zone. Like, I don't have to worry about... They don't have anything in the Lost Zone. I think it's just... nope, they've got 1 Arceus. So if they can't max belt right now... I hope they can't max belt. If they can't max belt, then we just snipe out the Bibarel and a Squovit, and then that's game. Oh, they're going to boss up probably Pidgeot? Yeah. Okay, they just want to take the Pidgeot. I think we've got him. I think we got him then. Oh, there's the max belt. They should have went for the Greninja then. Why'd you play boss? That's silly. That's silly. Why'd they do that? Okay, well, we get the snipe then. We still get the snipe. We can just hit around the Giratina. And Bibarel doesn't have... It's the Bidoof that has the protection. Bibarel can get sniped. And we are hitting for 120. And yeah, we'll hit the Squovit because we know we can hit that for sure. So they pretty much just guaranteed us the win there. I mean, unless they have... No, they don't have Unfair Stamp because they have Maximum Belt. All right. Interesting turn of events here with the... I don't know why they play. I guess they played... They must have played Boss thinking that they weren't going to get... Now, do they just have a surprise Manaphy? No. Manaphy would have screwed things up. I think Manaphy... We still would have been fine. Like, right now... Okay, they're just going to Lost Impact and pray that we don't have the third water energy, I guess. But we should just be able to hit around the Giratina and be done with this. And, I mean, you know, do we play the Iono just in case? No, I'm not going to do that. I think we just go with the Mirage Barrage. Oh, yeah. All right, so we go and attach the third energy. And we go Mirage Barrage. We snipe out a Bibarel and the Squovit. We take 2 prizes, and that is a game. GG's. Now, that's pretty fun. Now, granted, we are hitting for weakness there, and I do have to keep that in mind, right? So, we are hitting for weakness on the Arceus V-Star, but the Giratina with the max belt is horrifying, and they had the energy on there to potentially take out multiple... I think they had the energy set up in a way they could potentially take out multiple Greninjas before that ultimately falls. But I think we were able to showcase the... Yeah, Shinobi Blade being able to grab... Let's keep the camera on me. Shinobi Blade being able to hit for decent damage, and like, yeah, granted, we were one-shotting Arceus, but we were still doing good damage, also being able to grab the cards that we needed for the following turn. And in that last sequence there, we were able to get our... It was good to play that second water energy so that when we grabbed the third water energy and put it on, we could do 120 damage on the Mirage Barrage instead of relying on the double turbo energy. And then we sniped out 2 smaller bench targets, and we took the game without having to deal with that massive Giratina V-Star. GG's. There we go. That is a look at Greninja EX. I think it's a really interesting attacker. When it gets rolling, it's a lot of fun, but I'm not sure it really has what it takes to be a force in the current meta. I think the things that horrify me the most about Greninja EX is that, one, Raging Bolt Ogerpon is super popular right now, and Raging Bolt Ogerpon eats this deck alive. Just being able to one-shot Greninjas over and over again is really depressing, and Greninja can't really respond. You're not doing enough damage with either attack to take out a Raging Bolt, and that's before they put on a Bravery Charm. So that match is absolutely horrible, and it's really bad to have a bad matchup against the best deck in the game. And then one of the best counters to Raging Bolt Ogerpon is Gardevoir, and Gardevoir hits Greninja for weakness. So the best deck, or like one of the most popular decks and the most popular counter to the most popular deck, are really bad matchups for Greninja. So I have a hard time seeing Greninja really break through the current meta. But I don't, maybe there are other ways of optimizing this deck. I know there's a Frostlass build, which I hope to cover in a future video. Maybe that's the play to keep Greninja in the mix. But I do think the card is a lot of fun. It has some really interesting attacks. It gives you some really interesting opportunities with your prize mapping that other decks don't. And if in particular, if you liked playing decks like Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, then Greninja seems right up your alley. But what say you? Is Greninja EX the real deal? Have we just not optimized it yet? Is it a different build that's going to take this deck to the promised land? Let me know in the comments below. Twitch fam, stick around, but to our YouTube friends, we got to get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In Third Person. You can find me on Twitch at In Third Person, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.